Hello and welcome to Money Matters. The COVID-19 pandemic has crippled the airline and travel industries, but the worst may be behind them. Zelichin reports a higher vaccination rate and shorter quarantines may bring a brighter future.
It's a bright and early Friday morning at the Hong Kong International Airport. Long gone are the crowds of people jetting off all over the world. In the new era of pandemic travel, flying is not as carefree. If you're planning to travel this summer, check with your airline on the documents you need to bring. You might need a vaccination record or a negative COVID test. Or if you've had COVID, you need a doctor's note showing that you're fit to travel. With travel restrictions, border closures, and quarantines, the airport handled about 88% fewer passengers and about 75% less passenger flights than before the pandemic. This is one of the rare flights departing from Hong Kong these days. Stan Kwong is the regional head of Finnair.
This flight is going to Helsinki, departing at 0910. We use the latest model of Airbus A350.
And who's flying these days?
As you can see, European travelers. The demand comes from students, maybe family, moving aboard. So we can see, especially expats who wants to go home.
Many of the passengers will transit in Helsinki to other parts of Europe. Earlier this year, the airline suspended flights for 3 months due to a lack of demand and lengthy crew quarantines. And to save money, it downsized the Hong Kong office by 50% to 5 full-time employees. In June, it restarted a weekly Hong Kong to Helsinki flight. Stan says the airlines made changes to the in-flight operations to minimize the risk of infection.
All the passengers will be handed out with one of these called clean kits. So inside is some hand gel and sanitizer. The HEPA air filter, which filters out 99.97% of the bacteria, virus, allergens. So this is the air filter which is using in most of the hospital.
After the summer holiday travel season, Stan expects more demand from business travelers. Emily Leung, an analyst at a market research firm, thinks the worst days are over for the airline and travel industries.
People are starting to reconsider traveling into different countries. So with that, airlines are starting to reopening up their lines. Governments are talking with other governments in order to establish these travel bubbles as well as lower down the travel restrictions and quarantine measures in place.
Hong Kong's travel industry, including transportation, shrunk by nearly 58% in 2020 year on year. But it's projected to grow by 62% in 2021 to $116.9 billion. This cruise liner returned to Hong Kong waters after more than a year out of the market.
Longing for getting on the cruise for a long time.
Ken Ju manages the cruise lines business for Genting Hong Kong. He is excited to offer 2- and 3-night cruises to Hong Kongers, departing at the end of July and continuing through December.
So it's like a floating hotel.
It's like a floating hotel. It actually has 18 decks. And you see that there on the top floor there will be swimming pool, then 36 restaurants and bars, which will be inside this area. On the deck here, you see, it's actually, we call it palace. It's an area of 140 suites. It's like a hotel within hotel concept. Mm-hmm. Customers come, booking the cabins and this...
That's where the VIPs stay.
It's only the VIPs.
That's where I should want to stay.
You definitely have to go on this one.
The overall safety and well-being.
Passengers and crews must be fully vaccinated and have negative COVID tests. The cruises will operate at only half capacity and won't make any port of calls.
Kent, where's your cruise to nowhere going?
The ship will depart from Hong Kong, is from the Kai Tak cruise terminal. As you can see, go through some of the outlying islands to the South China Sea area. This is a very busy sea area.
Like many travel businesses, it was severely impacted by the restrictions sparked by the pandemic. The Genting Hong Kong group reported a net loss of $1.7 billion for the year ended in December. Kent says the cruises to nowhere will make a positive contribution to the bottom line.
If the ships are out in the sea, at anchorage, it burns fuels, and we have to have our essential crews to look after the ships, and there's a lot of expenses involved. Once the operation starts and the engine restarts, we are able to make a profit.
If you're staying in town this summer, you might consider visiting some local sites. The Zhao Chengyi Academy in Lai Chi Kok used to be a customs station in the Qing Dynasty. It's one of the stops on a local tour.
These travel companions enjoyed visiting the heritage site.
Usually, we go on holiday together. That's why we join these tours together to see places that we don't normally go to.
The tour is paid for by the Hong Kong Tourism Board to encourage spending in the city. Shalene Shi manages the leisure business for a Hong Kong travel agency. She says the local tours make about $100 in revenues per person, which barely covers costs.
It's not much, but because during the pandemic, many of our guides, they are almost jobless. But having this local tour it really helps them, at least with the engagement in the tourism.
With the travel restrictions and quarantines, 98% of the travel agency's pre-pandemic business disappeared. Now it focuses on selling local tours and staycations and booking essential travel for customers. The executives restructured the company and laid off 50% of its staff last December.
We are keeping our talents who are the core staff in the business, such as like cruise specialists or MICE specialists. So we have to retain these talents to keep ourselves ready for resuming business and in the future.
Other staff were furloughed. They get 20% of their salary and medical benefits, but must be ready to return when the agency needs them. Emily says about 60 to 70 Hong Kong travel agencies folded last year, or about 5% of the market. It would be a major boost to the travel industry if the Hong Kong government were to lower its quarantine periods for incoming travelers. At as much as 21 days, it's one of the longest periods in the world.
In order to encourage more people to travel and to come back after their travels, I guess maybe shortening the quarantine period and encouraging more people to take the vaccine will have an effect.
For arrivals into Hong Kong.
In late June, Hong Kong will shorten quarantines for fully vaccinated travelers coming from the US, Canada, and other low-risk places to 7 days if they pass an antibody test. While the travel industry is slowly rebounding, it will take years to return to the pre-pandemic days.
Having the same amount of mainland Chinese tourists that we used to have, having the same amount of foreign tourists, I guess we're looking at least 2024 for the Hong Kong market to fully recover.
The 10,000 square meter Konos factory houses more than 150 skilled workers, hand-making life-sized pharaonic busts and other finely crafted goods from the era of ancient Egypt. The recently inaugurated Egyptian Museum of Civilization has created the factory, dedicated to making high-quality replicas of ancient Egyptian artifacts, available to tourists for purchase. The factory has so far finished more than 6,000 replicas made out of stone, wood, ceramic, and even gold and silver. A life-size replica of King Tutankhamun's gold-painted mask will cost more than $12,000. Many of the copies will be sold at the museum's new shop. Buyers can learn the story of each item by scanning a QR code, like what it is made of and where the original piece is exhibited. Authorities have fired up the pipeline of products aimed at attracting tourism after the valuable sector suffered a painful blow during the pandemic. Revenues plunged by 70% in 2020. Egypt has expressed optimism about the sector's recovery, saying that tourist numbers have gradually increased since January this year to around 500,000 tourists per month. the beach town of El Zonte in El Salvador. It's not a rich place by any means. It is, in reality, a tech hub for Bitcoin. After the country's Congress adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, the tropical surfing spot now accepts the cryptocurrency, even though the rest of the town's infrastructure is basic. The town barely has an internet connection, so there's a way to go before usage is common. Businesses are small, some housed in palm huts. Water doesn't always flow. El Zonte's economy depends on the flow of surfers and cash through town. An experiment called Bitcoin Beach aims to make the town one of the world's first Bitcoin economies. Despite the bare-bones infrastructure, the Bitcoin Beach project was launched after an anonymous donation of Bitcoin from an American, probably a surfer. El Salvador insists the project will change the lives of citizens by allowing them to save, invest, and profit in a town with no bank. Take Zulma Rivas. The 38-year-old mother of three started accepting Bitcoin payments last year for the bags of cut fruit she sells from a tray. The fruits of Bitcoin. Like everything elsewhere, the coronavirus pandemic caused problems with the homeward transfers from overseas Salvadorans back to their families. Bitcoin Beach says adopting Bitcoin may help restore those much-needed payments.
When we come back, Money Matters reveals some of the hidden gems of the Sai Kung property market. Stay with us. Welcome back to Money Matters. Villas in Sai Kung are often sought after by expats and normally have a high price tag as well as high rental value. The pandemic might offer good opportunities for those hoping to get a bargain. Reporter Alice Khan discovered a few of the hidden gems in the district. While many expats enjoy living in bustling Sai Kung town, others are looking for something more serene.
Well, we're looking for a larger apartment than what we have now, or a house, more privacy, more isolated place, more quiet.
So this week we explored the residential market in the quiet and picturesque Hebe Haven. Hebe Haven is a harbor on the south shore of Sai Kung Peninsula. There are a number of high-end properties here. Most of those who own villas here are local businessmen or executives of multinationals. But some sold their homes amid the pandemic because of economic uncertainties.
They lost their job and they have to go back to their home country. And some of them have to immigrate to another country. That's why they want to cash out and then get their money to their other country as soon as possible. In these 2 years, the economy is quite weak and the environment is very uncertain. People are not willing to take a risk to buy a house with a high price. That's why they only target with houses which is 10 to 20% lower than the market price.
Due to weak market sentiment, the price for villas in Sai Kung has fallen about 20% since mid-2019. Currently, the price ranges from $15,000 to $28,000 a square foot. The rent for villas has also fallen about 20% during the same period. Now rents range from $42 to $48 a square foot. We checked out a villa in this residential development in Hebe Haven. This complex consists of 63 two-story villas ranging in size from 1,231 to 3,352 square feet. Currently, the average price of villas in this complex is $23,000 per square foot, depending on the view. This two-story villa is 1,855 square feet net. Initially, the owner tried to sell it for $38 million. Now, he's lowered the price to $32 million, or $17,250 per square foot, below the average price in this complex.
This is quite a long period of time for vacant for 1 year. According to the previous transaction in this complex, there is another house sold at $27.8 million, which is quite a low price. The landlord realized that the market is going down and that he's adjust his asking price.
The owner has also put it up for rent while it's not selling. The asking price is $85,000 a month or $45 per square foot. We took a closer look at the villa. The ground floor has a large living and dining area.
This living area is around 600 square foot, and it is already larger than a studio flat.
It actually is quite long. Then how do you lay out the furniture?
Actually, we can easily divide it into two zones, like a dining area at the back because it's closer to the kitchen, and a living area right here.
It has a balcony and a garden just outside the living room.
But this balcony is not really that big. Is it useful?
Yes, actually, you can put a coffee table or chairs here. And actually, the garden area is around 680 square foot, so you can have barbecue and parties out there.
Some villas in this complex have a sea view, but this one is surrounded by trees.
This property will attract to people who want a quiet environment, that they want to enjoy the natural sound and area, and they can enjoy the green and there is nobody will walk around and peek into your house. So it also fits to people who love privacy.
There is a maid's room on the other side of the ground floor. The kitchen is at the back. It is 120 square feet and has reasonably sized windows, making it bright during the day. Aside from lots of storage space, it includes appliances like this refrigerator, oven, and washing machine.
Here's the other feature of this house is there's another door to go to the garage. That means you can have privacy, and if it is raining, you don't have to go out the house to get your car.
Next, we check out the bedroom.
Here is the second floor, and all the rooms are on this floor. It including 4 bedrooms and 2 en-suites. So let's check out the master room. Here's the master bathroom. It's around 60 square foot.
And what's the size of this master bedroom?
It's around 210 square foot.
How do you lay out the furniture?
Actually, you can put a king-size bed here, and then you still have a 3-size wall. And besides, you can put a large TV set or wardrobe right there.
Oh, the room is quite bright.
Yes, as you can see here is the floor-to-ceiling glass window, which allows a lot of sunlight to come in.
The master bedroom also has a balcony overlooking the trees.
Yes, here's the balcony of this master room. And here is facing east, so it's still very warm during the winter time.
This balcony seems wider than the one in the living room.
Yes, it's around 30 square foot. So as you can see, you can put like a coffee table or some plants like the neighbor, and you can enjoy like coffee during daytime.
It has another smaller bedroom next to it, which is 97 square feet and can fit a double bed. The window is as large as the one in the master bedroom. There's another ensuite bedroom on this floor. The layout is unusual. The bedroom is 120 square feet and it opens onto a large 190 square foot terrace.
What do you use this for?
Actually, you can see you can put some plants here, and you can put or even you can put chairs to have some bathing here. And it also has a main feature that it can extend the indoor and bedroom area.
This ensuite bedroom faces west, which means bright sunlight will shine into it in the afternoon. And it doesn't have a tree view. It overlooks other villas in the complex, so privacy could be an issue. The fourth bedroom is the smallest one. It can only fit a single bed and it has a small window. Up above, the rooftop has an open view and a mountain view, but it's not renovated. And there are a lot of stains on the wall as well as dirty tiles. Sammy thinks the homeowner may further lower the price and the rent to attract buyers or tenants. Amenities-wise, the complex offers a clubhouse with a swimming pool and gym. It also has a good management team to take care of residents. Although it's located in a quiet area, it's next to the yacht club. And it's just a 5-minute drive to Sai Kung town, and residents can go for a meal at the nearby hotel. They can also drive or take a bus to Clearwater Bay or Chung Kwan O. This analyst, Vincent Chung, believes this will continue to be a tough market for now.
It's not easy for the expats to purchase a house in Hong Kong due to the leverage issue. For the properties which is more than, say, 10 million, actually the people, they have to pay 50% as the down payment, especially for the expats in case they have not been in Hong Kong for a certain period of time. It may not be that easy for them to get the mortgage from the bank.
Drone footage showed the now world-famous herd of wild Chinese Asian elephants resting amidst vegetation in southwestern China. Infrared footage showed the pachyderms moving about and grazing. The herd had already made a lasting impression on the people of Kunming, defying attempts by officials to redirect them with food. The herd seemed to want to explore every nook and cranny of the city. While it is unclear why the elephants are moving north, experts guess it may be due to a decline in edible plants in the forest habitats of the nature reserve they escaped last March. Villagers suffering from economic losses brought by the herd's 15 individuals have expressed their understanding and tolerance as they see the animals as lovable children. The evidence of their passage through can be seen in fields, forests, and villages, a trail of destruction. The herd has wandered across 9 townships, damaging the cash crops of 400 households. A male elephant who broke free from the herd 7 days ago was spotted entering an area roughly 16 kilometers away from his travel companions and showing no sign of rejoining the main group. The 10-year-old seems content to wander the fields outside Kunming for the time being. Teenagers, what do you do? Experts say if the male elephant stays in place for too long, then in the coming rainy season, there won't be enough proper food for it. Officials are preparing to lead it to the southwest if necessary. Some say the main herd is waiting for the lone animal to rejoin them. South African fuel supply driver Norman Nukeri had a slightly different elephant experience during his encounter with a herd of the African species. He stopped to let the herd cross the road. One elephant approached the vehicle to check things out. Nothing to see here. See you later. But then on second thought, yeah, see you later. Nukeri was stunned but unharmed. He did not leave the truck until the rangers he had radioed arrived at the scene. Good move, Norman.
That's Money Matters for this week. Next time, join us for a look at the diet dollar, where online vegan and keto stores offer plant-based and carb-free food. See you then. Good night.